Hey, everybody. There we go. So I'm here. You can see that I'm back, and I am kind of trying to adjust to Tennessee after Montana. I mean, I'm sure there must be some things about Montana that are unpleasant, but I certainly didn't experience one. How can everyone hear me? I know that I'm using these. I didn't use them in my last couple of videos, I think, on my phone, and I got a comment that the sound was not loud enough. So, how does it sound? Jack is here. Wonderful. Sound and visual is good. Thank you. Okay, so I know it's a little. I'm backlit, but I do have this light here. So finally got a little bit of a light. And now I'm on live. YouTube has just let me know, so I know where I am. Okay, so while people are tuning in, which let's see, we only have 14 so far. Thank you for going ahead and hitting that like button. I see that many of you are doing that. Appreciate that. In case you are not aware, I just returned from a place called Prairie, Montana, and it is about 50-minute drive, I think it was, from the Bozeman airport. And I was at a spectacular resort called Sage Resort, where my son and daughter-in-law, now daughter-in-law, have been planning for a year and a half this wedding, which really was splendid. And I took a few pictures with, I didn't even take my camera. This is how much I've changed. I never went anywhere without my camera, and I would always film. And I said, no, you know what? I'm just going to take it all in, because after all, this is my first son, and I just want to experience it and talk to people that I know and that I don't know. So it was a great experience, and I believe they were really satisfied. The wedding planner really came through, the flowers, the decorations, the food. And it was really interesting. This is a little insight. My son Walker, who became a top athlete as a junior player, as in tennis, uh, he never had a soda. I still don't think he's ever drunk a soda, and he's 30. I had such an ironclad grip on what my sons ate and drank. And I would go to tennis matches with fresh squeezed lemon juice, with raw honey, and the whole Megillah, until I couldn't control it anymore. Until I wasn't traveling with him and that sort of thing. So he never liked sweets, and I made him a birthday cake when he was 4 years old. And I made it a yellow cake with chocolate icing, my mother's recipe. And it was at a bowling alley, the party, and I made it in the shape of a bowling pin with decorations and all this. And he didn't even eat any. And it was like, well, okay. And so it was just, he never would eat sweets. And then one trip we made back to Tennessee to see my parents, his grandparents. And there's a barbecue place in my hometown that's been there forever, a long time. And they usually have fresh made pies, one of which is chess. Chess pie has this whole, story behind chess pie, because what is chess pie? You only find it in the South. At any rate, I went and bought a chess pie, and he happened to eat a slice when we were visiting this is when he was like 10 or 12 years old. And he loved it. And so that's like the only pie he will eat. He'll eat chocolate chip cookies and stuff, but in fact, too many of those. But anyway, he ate a lot of chocolate chip cookies. But that's he actually had on the dessert table, one of the many interesting desserts on the dessert table was chess pie as a tribute to Tennessee. So his experience growing up. Anyway, let me say hello to people real quick, and then I'll continue on. Just so you know, I put all of my links about how you can support this channel at the top of the chat window, namely my t-shirts. Haven't sold a t-shirt in a month, so it'd be great if somebody decided to jump in and get a t-shirt. I'd appreciate that. You can either get the late bloomer t-shirt like this or the dirt person t-shirt. And Daryl and Jack is here. And yeah, I didn't check in with Patricia. So Jack, you may be the only moderator until she gets in within range. Sometimes she's not within range, and I don't know where Happy is today yet. Let's see. No frost here, not anywhere near. Claudia is here. Thank you, Cherie. I feel very blessed to have gone there, and unfortunately, my younger son had a health issue and was not able to make it, and so that was a real huge disappointment. No, I'm too old to upstage the bride and groom, Kristen. But thank you. No, I didn't. Anyway, I knew that my son had already sent me a picture of his suit, and they didn't all the groomsmen didn't have the exact same suit, but they were all in the navy blue range, and so I knew I was safe with navy. I knew I was safe with navy blue, so that's what I wore. And actually, my dress was very comfortable. That was one of the things I was hoping for is not to just sort of be uncomfortable. And it was outside. I thought when I saw that field where they were getting married, I thought, I think I'm going to be overdressed because I had this beaded bodice. And if you saw the pictures on my community page, you can see the dress there. Let's see. Yes, Marianne, it did at 7 minutes ago. Thank you, Cherie. He worked really hard, toning down. I know he went to the gym, and plus they did this dance. He's not a ballroom dancer by any means. He loves dancing, but he doesn't know ballroom dancing. He did do some line dancing when he lived in Santa Cruz. He went to this place and learned to do some line dancing, but anyway, he and she, I didn't recognize the song because I'm too out of what's popular right now, but they learned an intricate ballroom dance as their dance when they came into the reception. I was very impressed. Yvonne is here from New York. Thank you so much. Okay, so what was I saying? I interrupted myself. So Montana, we got lucky because it could have been snowing. And it was, I think, about 80 degrees in the bright sun at 4 p.m. on Saturday when the wedding was held. And, they just thought of everything because, how many weddings have you been to outside where you cannot hear what the bride and groom, when they exchange their vows, you can't hear. So they had a microphone that had a swivel so we each got to hear the vows, which were so beautiful. They wrote them. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Shell Bells. I think so too. Right. Don't talk about snow. No, sorry. But it could have been. They said sometimes they have snow by September. So we had warm days. And of course, as soon as the sun went down, it was chilly and there was a breeze. Let's see. It's the Juno from England. Hi, the Juno. One of my, I'm drinking this very strange drink. I don't know what to make of it. I know this is going to sound really gross, but it just reminds me of like diluted fish fertilizer. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that. Well, upon closer inspection, the wrinkles and all of that, what are you going to do? I can't fix that now. It is what it is. So, anyway, I was wondering if I did do a few clips and I was going to put a little thing together. I know it's mostly going to be the people that, my close friends that would be interested in seeing it, but I was going to put that together. I was going to do it yesterday, and I didn't do anything yesterday, and I hardly did anything today. So I think I just needed to just decompress. It was so intense leading up to the trip, and the trip was intense. I want to say this right away is like, how many of you, let's see, we have 41 people now, but how many of you how many of you have seen, I don't know if you guys are glued to what's going on in the world, but I am. And there's a pastor in Canada that threw the police out of his church, and the video of that went viral. I don't know if you saw it, but I did, and a lot of people did. And so God works in mysterious ways, I got to say, because I'm walking into the baggage claim in Bozeman, Montana, small airport, and I see this guy folding. I see this man in his 30s or something folding these red t-shirts. The red t-shirt caught my eye, of course. And it said, "Get out, get out, get out" on the t-shirt. And there was no one around really. It was a man over here and he was there. And I just, me, networker. And I walk over, I said, "What's that?" And he goes, and he says, "Well, did you see the video of the pastor in Canada that, told the police to get out of his church?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, there he is. Would you like to meet him?" And I said, "Yes." And so I met him, and he was waiting to get on a plane and to go back to Canada. He had been on a speaking tour in the US for a few weeks. He had been, a benefactor had given him the use of a plane. So he had done a number of speaking engagements. But, he has just refused to stop ministering to people who are hungry and hopeless and suicidal and all of the things that are going on that the governments don't talk about. And he is continuing to minister to these people. And so he's been arrested a few times. And so he told me that he's probably going to be arrested, when he gets off the plane. And so we got a picture and we said a little prayer, and then he left. And by the time I got home, which was quite a journey, I had 2 flights and a drive, and I saw on, let's see, it's either BitChute or Rumble, I forget which one, that he was arrested as soon as he got there. But I also just heard about 3 hours ago, I think, that he was released. So I'm sure your prayers are welcome if you that's supposed to be good for me, but ooh, that's crazy bad. Thank you, Marianne. Yes, he's an awesome guy. Where did I put his card? His name is Pastor Arthur, like Arthur, but with no H. Arthur Paulowski, Paul, like Paul Lowski, Paul Lowski. And if you're interested in following his journey or helping, making a donation, he owes a lot of money. In Canada, the way they do it is every time they arrest you, they give you these huge fines for breaking all the rules. And so you can go to saveartur.com and read about him. Okay, enough of that. So yes, it was in Canada. Wow, congratulations, Edwin. So Edwin is getting married on Sunday. Congratulations. Enjoy yourselves. The kiddies are on vacation, Connie, and I hear that they're doing well. Very well. Okay, Cherie, I'm going to put that together. Well, Bozeman is quickly becoming, they were sort of referring to it as let's see, Bozeangeles, because so many people from California have moved not only to Bozeman, but also to Boise, Idaho. So I can't tell you if they're happy about that or not. Let's see, Happy is here. Thank you. I thought you were going to England for the fall, not New England. I'm confused. I guess I was confused about that. Okay, so I want to talk to, first of all, let me just show you my, I was afraid of that. So I just went out a little while ago and I just harvested a couple of eggplant. There's more eggplant out there. I cleaned everything off before I left, and I froze the okra as in my video, and then I ate some eggplant the night before I left, and then I gave all of the Chinese eggplant. And if anybody's got a great Chinese eggplant recipe, I used to eat the purple long eggplants with bean sauce at this Chinese restaurant. It was just my absolute favorite thing. And if I could even come close to replicating that, I would love to. But if anybody has a recipe that they love to use with the long purple ones, please leave it below the video. That'd be great. So this morning, I didn't get all the eggplant. I just grabbed a couple for tonight, and I'm going to go back out tomorrow morning. But this is what I got today. So there's quite a few okra in there. And now that the leaves are all gone and dead on the lemon cucumber, I found another one. I found 3 before I left. I ate 2 of them for dinner the first night. I guess that was Monday night. This was disengaged from the vine, hard as a rock, so not hopeful. This is very heavy for its size, and it was disengaged from the vine. Do you think that there's anything in here to eat or no? I have a couple of bigger ones, thankfully. This was disengaged from the vine, and I know this is going to be good. This is that vert grimpant. And I've saved a bunch of seeds for this melon. I got this is for my supper. I'm going to eat some of the okra, and the rest of it's going in the freezer or dehydrator. I haven't decided, but that has to happen tonight. Okay, so let's talk about, Jamela is here from Trinidad. Welcome. Coco is here. Christy Betts, amazing autist. You'll have to go back and watch the beginning. I was just catching everybody up. I've gotten some amazing comments, and I'm going to do either a video or an extra live stream and just talk about some of that stuff, because some people were asking me to discuss certain things. One thing in particular, which I won't get into tonight, but I will, is how do I feel at this point about being older and taking on a property, and what advice would I give, and all of that. So that's it's a really big subject, and I really want to take that on in a separate thing. But well, Sharon, either you or someone else told me about it the last time, and I looked on the Facebook page, and it had not been updated in 2 or 3 years. And so, and then the person that you or whoever it was that mentioned it, I'm sorry, I don't remember who mentions what, uh, mentioned this Tom Anderson that follows me, but he hasn't contacted me, and I don't know how to contact him because the Facebook page wasn't working, and so I couldn't leave a message, and the website is like way out of date. There's nothing there that's newer than 4 years, so I don't know how to find out about it, you know, because when I searched it, trying to break myself of that habit, when I searched for it, the Middle Tennessee plant swap, just those two things came up: the website and the um, Facebook page. So if you have a way to contact, please put it in the video below. Joshua's here. Let's see. Well, fried eggplant sounds excellent. It's just I don't know how to fry a whole. I mean, what do you do? It's a round, long thing, and to freeze it, they say to cook it and then scrape it out, and so I'm hoping that the way it was served in this Chinese restaurant was halved and baked, and it had this black bean sauce over it. Of course, I wouldn't begin to know how to make a black bean sauce. So if anyone does, help me out. Oh boy, I don't know. I would just have to search that. Amazing Altus is asking what leafy greens are low in vitamin A. I wouldn't know. I really have no idea. I'd have to look that up. Thanks, Cherie. I'll do that. Let's see. Thank you, Shell Bells. I appreciate that. Flourish? What does flourish mean in cooking terms, Topaz? Topaz says you slice it thinly. It's very hard to slice it thinly lengthwise. It's almost impossible. I suppose if I had one of those, what is it, a Madeline? Wait, I do have one of those, but I don't know how to slice it lengthwise. Okay, Connie, thank you. Right, Topaz, but I mean, I'm assuming that the fried eggplant is, these are actually small, but you cut what the heck is that? It's interesting. You cut these like this, and then you've got big pieces to fry, but the long, skinny ones are, I don't know. Well, I made a bunch of ratatouille in the beginning and froze it, and so flour. Oh, okay. Let's see. What did you say that and flour? You slice it thinly, dip in eggs and flour. Yeah, that's to fry it, right? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yes, believe it or not, I don't have a bread knife. Right. Thank you, Wileen. Where are you writing from? I don't remember your name. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Well, it was 61 a second ago, now it's 57. Uh, just if you hit that like button, that would be awesome and give YouTube an idea that people are enjoying this live stream, if you are, hopefully. And welcome if you are new to my channel. I don't think reformed is the right word. But I am a former urban gardener, city girl, who is now trying to make it on a big property, and and so I cover the gardens that I've been developing and how the gardening is going, plus other projects around the homestead, trying to make the homestead more sustainable. A lot of the things in the spring had to do with a lot of the videos in the spring had to do with getting the cistern up and running, the pump, and all of that jazz. And today, guess what? No water. The water is off. So I'm looking in the kitchen going, I've got about a gallon of water in my, what is it? Aquapure? No, that's not the name of it. In my water filter, I've got about about a gallon filtered sitting on my counter. And that's about it. And I'm going, what was I thinking? Why don't I have a 5-gallon water bottle, just sitting there, two of them, just sitting there with filtered water in it? That's dumb. So that's not even enough to cook something with. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more on the ball with that. Hopefully this will just be a short outage, and been here every time the water has gone off, it's been back on within an hour or so. Right, amazing Altis, but this is what I'm wondering about. Well, I'll just look it up. Connie said I can find a recipe online. Okay, Coco says black bean sauce is basically a seasoned fermented. Okay, seasoned fermented. That's something I'm not probably going to have to buy. I probably have to buy fermented black beans or something. Southern Alabama fries them. Okay. Marianne, right? Marianne said she grew them and has no idea what to do with them either. Uh, Wileen is from Texas. Or is it Wileen? Not sure. Let's see. Thank you, Happy. I don't know if you noticed, but I posted all of my ways to support the channel at the top of the chat, and also he's adding my t-shirt links here. If you think you might like to get a t-shirt, do it now because they just raised their base price, because as you know, prices of everything are going up, and no telling how high. And so they just raised their base price, but I haven't gone in and made an adjustment so that my commission remains to about the same percent, which is not very much, but it's still, I don't want to be, I want to make something for doing it, I know everybody says told me that in Montana to make baba ganoush, and I've never done that, and I really need to do that. But I think baba ganoush is something that you have to eat with bread, right? Because it winds up being more like a dip mixture, I think. All right, let's get to the topic today, which is putting the garden to bed. Hello, Linda from cool Northwest AZ. Oh, skunk. Thank you, Southern Alabama Garden. What is your name, please, so that I can try and get it in my mind? SAG. Your acronym is SAG, which is the name of the union I've been in for since 1980, 41 years. SAG, Screen Actors Guild. Anyway, let me see. Oh, that's fantastic. SAG, would you please put the link of where you bought those 5-gallon water jugs underneath the video, not in the chat, so I can find it easily? Stuffed Italian eggplant. Well, but do you use the Chinese ones for that? I don't think you do. I could be wrong. Blanch the skin, put in pickling, brine, garlic, basil, parsley. What? Make a pickling brine and put eggplant with garlic, basil, and parsley in that. Is that what you're saying, Brian? Ratatouille boats. Interesting. Oh, I love bread. Don't get me wrong, I love bread, but I don't need to be eating too much of that. Happy you're speaking to me, right? Fall crops with row covers. Okay, so here's the deal. Fall crops, I seeded twice. I don't know what's happened. I've been seeding vegetables for years, but I don't know if it was because it was warmer in the kitchen. I used the regular routine with the heating mat, the trays, and the dome. I seeded all of the brassicas, like, and other stuff, lettuce, cilantro, all the cool season stuff. I seeded it all like in August. Nothing, I got nothing out of that. And then I reseeded again, probably either the end of August or beginning of September. I don't remember exactly. And I had 2 or 3 tiny little nothing. And I just said, I am not keeping that grow light on if I'm going to be gone for 4 days for that. And anyway, I was reading online, it said that by now, if I want to grow anything this fall, I've got to go buy nursery plants. The only thing about nursery plants is you just get your basic varieties. You don't get any of these interesting heirloom varieties of anything. So I don't know how much fall stuff I'm going to be growing. But first of all, let's just talk about what do we do with the summer garden? Because, okay, this summer garden, almost all those leaves, I think I saw 2 or 3 vines, and I'm not sure if it was butternut or I'm not sure what variety it was, because it starts out green with, with a kind of a pattern on it, but it's the shape of butternut. And I don't remember if butternut starts out that Daryl, does butternut start out green with a pattern on it? Anyway, I've got probably 2 or 3 small ones that are, this long, green, about 3 of those. But other than that, everything seems done. The vines there's no leaves. You see, it's all leaves. I have, this is what Justin did before, is he put a layer of hay over the corn bed. So that's just there suppressing weeds, and that's just going to break down over winter. So that's done as far as I know. So what else? I mean, yes, it would be great if I could go get a load of manure. I don't know where I can do that or how I can do that. So, if I bought bags of stuff, I would need hundreds of dollars worth of bags of stuff. So I'm not sure what to do. So I'm going to be looking for advice from you guys. So in terms of the squash, though, should I go ahead and pick the butternut? Is it time? I have spaghetti, butternut. I have about 1 big and 2 or 3 small cusha, and I have one big. I don't know what it is yet. It's starting to turn, and it looks more like a pumpkin because it has that, you know, shape around it, but it's more elongated. So you saw it in that video. So what do I do? Do I just wait and do nothing until these finish, or what? What's the advice? I don't know if anybody's answered my question. You should. I know. Okay. Speaking of rabbits, Daryl said I should raise rabbits, and I know I want to. I Today I got an email from Justin Rhodes because I don't know if you're aware of Justin, but he has a almost 900,000 subscribers. And he started this channel, uh, this gardening channel. And so it's a membership thing. So you can have different levels of membership. And I just decided to do it for a year at the highest level. And I got an email from him that said, be sure and visit us at the Homesteaders of America conference, which is coming up on the 8th and 9th of this month, so of October. So um, one of the workshops that they're giving there is everything about raising rabbits, you know, from selecting the breed, building the right kind of housing for them, uh, butchering, and the whole life cycle. And I thought that's what I really need to take, but it was that workshop is sold out, so I can't do that. So if I got into it, I would just be getting into it without knowing anything. But I sure wish that I could do that. Um, I mean, I could just get some rabbits, not necessarily with the idea of culling them for meat, just to provide me some fertilizer. But then, hey, you've got to have rabbit food, good quality rabbit food, and you have to have access to that. So the question is, what is that rabbit food, and how do you get access to it? Because you can't just feed them fresh vegetables, because I won't even have any this winter. So if anybody has advice about that, let me know. Ivy Organic is here. Charles is here from Ivy Organic. Everybody say hello to Charles. Thank you so much for tuning in. I haven't heard from you since I moved, and I just got back from my son's wedding in Montana, Charles, in case you're still on. Coco is asking if she can use dried out Timothy hay as straw for container plants. I still have his hay. Can't find any for sale near me. Actually, I've never used straw on container plants, so I don't know the answer to that. If anybody has an answer for Coco, she's asking about using dried out Timothy hay as straw for container plants. Find a good resource for compost in bulk in your area. And then what, Happy? You know, I didn't really practice driving my four-wheeler like in the last month before Justin took off. So I'm going, oh, am I going to practice that on my own? I guess I'll have to. I should force myself to just get on that like 2 or 3 times a week, just so that I feel comfortable. But I think I might wear a helmet. I know that's weird. Nobody here wears a helmet. Going down this road, going down this road in 4x4, I mean, side by sides or on four-wheelers, they don't wear a helmet. But um, somebody was telling me that this young woman, I'm trying to think where she was working. I can't remember who told me the story now. But anyway, she was on a four-wheeler, I think working on a ranch or something, and she went up this grade and it fell back on her and she broke her neck. And she didn't die, I don't think, but she broke something, and so I can't afford. Well, actually, a helmet wouldn't help with that either, because you can still break your neck with a helmet on. So anyway, I don't know what to do. When in 2006, I uh, photographed about 30 paraplegics, and let's see, yeah, almost everybody was just two limbs were paralyzed. Because the physical therapist allowed me to document um, the workouts and all of that stuff, and I did a big photo essay book. So I sure don't want that to happen. Dehydrator's full of peppers. I don't even think I have one pepper out there. I might get another couple before it's over. I was thinking about digging up one of my plants and trying to, okay, Brian, thank you. Digging up one of my pepper plants and trying to keep it alive over the winter, but I just don't know if it's worth it. I mean, I've done that in California, and you don't get that many peppers. It's too cold, and then you're watering and fertilizing and trying to keep this thing alive, and I just don't know that it's worth it. Yes, the Homesteaders of America conference is in Front Royal, and that's another thing. Is like, do I really want to take another trip? I don't know. When I was in Montana, I was just sitting there going, when I get home, I'm not going anywhere. And then I'm sitting here today looking at my email, and it's Justin Rhodes going, hey, if you come to the HOA conference, I'm going to set up a little special, come to tent A at lunchtime on the first day. I'm going to introduce everybody. There will be people there from all regions of the country. And I thought, it's an opportunity for me to meet people possibly in Middle Tennessee. Is anybody going to that? That's listening to this? Is anyone going to the Homesteaders of America conference? Happy, can you look for a response for that question? Yeah, Linda, I would have a tough time. Rabbits are so cute. I would really have a tough time. But I know Sharon at Sharon's Natural Gardens in Delaware. She does. But she knows what she's doing, and I don't. Okay, so you put your Shell Bells put her garden to bed with compost and manure and a thick layer of pine needles. Well, I don't have pine needles. What I was hoping to do is I bought a leaf mulcher. You probably saw me using it when I was working around the shop early in the spring, and it sucks up like a vacuum cleaner. It sucks up the leaves and grinds them up, and you put them in a big bag. And if I could do that, later when all of these maple leaves come down, it'd be great. But this thing is electric, and I'm going, I really need it way down at the end of my driveway is where I need it right now, because those trees are dropping leaves. But I could get a lot of good leaf compost. I mean, I see it a whole bunch out here right now. I mean, it's good for the grass, but it'd be even better for my garden. Wow, I'm seeing a lot. So I have a lot to do. But anyway, good luck, shell bells. Okay, Connie says pick the squash when it's a deep, solid color and the rind is hard. Okay, leave a 2-inch stem on the squash. Okay. Yeah, so somebody said if you push your fingernail in and it does not leave a dent, I think that's another way. Well, Marianne, I don't know how I would control them, you know. I have no idea if I set chickens free in my garden, how do I control them? I mean, they would just get eaten. They'd be gone like the first night. So, I mean, I'd have to have a chicken house and I'd have to round them up, you know. And I know you can train your chickens to do that, but I mean, even Daryl doesn't let his chickens out. So Southern Alabama Garden says you put your rows, let's see, you till your rows. So you get out your tiller, right? I assume you cut them down first, right? I mean, I saw Danny at Deep South. He had a mulching machine, gas powered mulching machine. He was putting the stalks in there, and it was spitting out this ground up biomatter, you know, and that looked awesome. But I don't have one of those. And every single machine that you get that relies on gasoline, I mean, gasoline is hard to store. It doesn't have a long storage life. Although I did hear recently that you could put something in gasoline that would give it a longer storage life. Does anybody know about that? Because the last thing I want to do is invest in more gas powered machines if I can even get them. I mean, it was very hard to get a tiller and then not have the gasoline to be able to use them. Well, shell bells, you probably could eat rabbit if maybe you didn't even know it. It really tastes a whole lot like white chicken meat. I had it at Sharon's and we had a big stew, and you just have to get over the idea that, it's this cute little bunny thing. What are we talking about, Topaz? This is making my mouth water. Um, I think I like tahini sauce but what are you talking about for the eggplant? Is this tahini sauce or garlic paste for the eggplant? Just asking. But I'd like to do that, Marianne. I would love to do that. The thing is, see, I could take the chickens in there because they can't get out. I don't think they would fly over a 7 foot. I mean, they might. Um, but the squash leaves and vines are pretty much all dried up. There's like nothing left, even for the chickens to eat, really. So I don't know. Uh, okay, what Charles is here? Oh, Charles IV Organic. I thought maybe OAG. Has anybody heard from OAG, Old Alabama Gardener? I haven't been in touch. I was so wrapped up in my trip. Yes, I was very careful with the hay that I got. Let's see, Marjorie Wildcraft, it just jumped. Dolores Rankin is here. Thank you for that. I'm gonna screenshot that because I won't remember. I mean, I'm sure she does have that because she's got all kinds of stuff. Wow, that's right. Colorado is so dry. I never could understand it when I lived in Colorado. There would be like all this snow on the ground, and it'd be so dry. I'm going, how is this possible? I know, Topaz, I know. I mean, my son worked on a ranch, right out of Stanford, and he had a couple of close calls. I mean, he didn't get hurt, thank God, but it's common, yeah. Okay, Connie, I'm gonna have to get you know, my nerve up and try to start using it. Oh, Charles, you have no idea what you're saying. I need rock walls built. That's heavy work. Oh boy. Oh gosh, that would take forever, Linda. You could have done it in your oven on low, I think. Oh my gosh, is this Steve or is this Rosemary? This is Steve. Okay, you guys, remember when I asked for prayers for Steve? He is on. Say hi to Steve. He says he just left the hospital yesterday. Well, he came home and then he went off to another rehab center. I think that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check with Rosemary. Rosemary. I'm so glad you feel better, Steve. Thank you so much for leaving a comment. Okay, well, Marianne, I had planned to have a coop built for spring because Daryl and I had discussed this, and he was saying spring is the best time to start, to get your chicks and all of that. And so I thought, well, I've got till spring to get the coop made and figure out where I'm going to put it and all of that. I mean, the only place I can really think of is right there, above that, right up in there, because the forest starts right there, and you know, and then I could they could go right into, well, I can't let them go in the garden until I'm done with the garden, right? Anyway, we'll be talking more about chickens. I just need to know, like, down there where the tomatoes are and everything, what, just cut the plants down, take them out, and do nothing? Just leave it? Is that what you recommend? Uh, so I have been on the chip drop waiting list for months, and I haven't actually called the county to see if they give them away somewhere. That's something I still need to do. Let's see. Stable for fuel storage. Okay, I guess that's a product. Uh, no, I don't plan to dig. I just wondering what I just have the hay. So that's all I have to cover where the plants were. Above is the link. Oh gosh, I'll never find it. Um, hmm, I'll have to look for it later. 5-gallon water jugs, but that's what I need. And I need to have at least 2 full ones just all the time. How do you keep water stored for a while? Do you have to worry about that? If you have 5 gallons of filtered water in a clean water jug, can you keep that stored like that for 2, 3 months? Oh, good. Thank you, Shell Bells. Thanks for letting me know about OAG. Denise says, wait. I know. I know, but you're so much closer, Denise. His Servant is here. Hello. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Where are you from? I don't know what happened to Patricia today. I haven't checked with her since I got back. Steve says, okay, thank you for your prayer. I'll let count it. They're in heaven listening, and Steve is in good spirits. He's happy. Okay, is this Rosemary who's writing? I got my last chip drop from chipdrop.com or whatever, but that was in the spring and they were cutting miles of trees underneath the power lines in the county. So I could have gotten a lot more back then, except we couldn't figure out where to put it without getting stuck in my yard. Remember that the first truck that came here got stuck and he didn't come back. Right, 3-gallon jugs. Right, exactly. You're so right. Mhm. So how Okay, Connie says, "Yes, water will be fine if it's in your house, temperature isn't too hot. Go to a water store." Go go to a water store? A water store. Why is nothing coming up in my brain when you say water store? Aha. Yes, 3-gallon is a good idea. Wow. Okay, so I think we're caught up on comments. I'm just going to. We're at 5:58. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. My plan is I got most of my supply of wood while I was gone, and I'm not doing a woodshed. I'm not launching into a big project because October could be shaky. Everybody, I don't know if you're following the news, but if they don't raise the debt ceiling, we're in big trouble. So I mean, I feel sure that they'll do it, but if they didn't, we'd be in very big trouble. We've already got hundreds of container ships backed up in ports everywhere. So uh, some stores are already showing empty shelves and higher prices on everything. So this is why I just think everything works here. And no, I didn't get my new patio, and I didn't get my cool designed woodshed, mainly because I was actually worried about snakes. Anyway, so this way right now I've got 4 8-foot long uh, firewood holders that are 6 inches off the ground, because so that makes it less likely that the mice are going to come up and nest in there. I don't know about wasps though. I saw wasps flying around them today, and I don't know, they might like to be, have houses built in there, um but yeah, Daryl, we didn't get to do the stacking thing. We didn't get that coordinated. He hasn't brought all the wood, but I do have probably 2/3 of it that I've asked for. So I have 4 8-foot holders that are 4 feet tall, and they're all out here full. And I just have to go get 10 for the top. Right now, I've just got a folded tarp on there. It's not sufficient. So I'm going to get these 2 by 8-foot tin panels, but I could get them down here at locally, but they're galvanized, and I know they're going to rust, and I just don't want that. So I'm going to go to a roofing company in Lebanon and get some with it has a coating or painted or something. So that's what I'm going to go get. I haven't done that yet. Huh. Um, Probably they can be, but as Connie or Linda was mentioning, that 3-gallon size is much easier for me to handle. It's true. I used to get 5-gallon water bottles delivered, and there was a time when I could pick up a 5-gallon glass water bottle and put it upside down on top of my dispenser. I have a dispenser out there, which is not being used. So this will be perfect. I'm going to go and get a few of those and set that up, and and have 10 or 12 gallons of filtered water. So so that I'm better prepared for if the water goes out. Oh no, I know. So many products are imported from China, and China is actually having a lot of problems financially and supply. And I mean, all these hundreds or thousands of cars were abandoned on the highway because all the lights went out. So they're having rolling blackouts. So, I mean, you know, it could be a wild month. So everybody fasten your seatbelts, like Betty Davis said in the movie. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a what was the line? How could I forget that? It's going to be a long night. No, it's going to be a bumpy night. Fasten your seat. Well, in her deep smoker voice, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night. I think it was a bumpy night. I think that's what it was. Anyway, I am going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me. We only had about 73 people, but everybody seemed very engaged, and I love you all, and I wish you blessings, and just keep your eyes open, head forward, eyes up, and lean into the fight. So God bless you. And if you have any other thoughts or comments, please leave a comment below when the chat window closes. So thanks so much for your support. In whatever way you feel you'd like to support this channel, I'm grateful. God bless you, and I'll see you next Wednesday for sure. But I may add one, either a video or a live stream when we discuss that topic that I think is prevalent. I think that it is important. So thanks so much.